Death Prophet and her ghosts flying around, Nature's Prophet, his trees, Chen and his buddies. There's gonna be like a metric fuckload of particles on your screen if we have like a full-on 5-on-5 team fight.
There really is going to be a lot of stuff going on. I do really like Kaipi's early game, though. They have the potential of being able to do an aggro try if they really want to. It looks like they're going to do safe try, though, just to get some guaranteed levels. That's fairly reasonable. Lion is a hero that lately has been suffering a lot in terms of his early game weakness, and that he also doesn't transition well. So we'll see whether or not Prophet will be able to bully him in lane. I think it's definitely possible, considering that both those supports have weak spammable skills and they have low armor. So I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward Prophet game. He'll be really happy in his lane. And then if Come With Me ganks effectively on Chen, there's going to be extra pressure as well on heroes like DP. So I feel like Kaipi definitely has the heroes to open up the early game and just end it at the early mid if they get some advantage.
I'm very excited to see how this plays out. Now, what is going to be your favorite lane to keep an eye on? Like, what's going to be the bloodbath?
Well, I think for the first minute or so, definitely watching how Prophet zones supports with his treants, because he can get possibly even solo kills if they make ridiculous enough mistakes. But other than that, we're going to be looking at early rotations from Chen, possibly early rotations from the Witch Doctor in combination with Chen, and then maybe something, whatever lane pressure I guess Caudle does is really, those are going to be the impactful things really. Maybe they'll do early smokes with Caudle plus Lion as well and go for some kills on Shadow Fiend mid, but that's pretty much what I'm expecting to see. I don't expect to see the Grace rotating much. Definitely Venge will, but I doubt Bristle will, at least. They just farm all early games. Definitely more roam potential out of Kaipi. There's going to be a lot of battling.
Yeah, back to your note about, early pressure from the Caudle and how he's going to be trying to bully everyone in lane and get bullied in return. How's he going to skill? Because we see a variety of different Caudle builds and what's going to be best in the situation.
Definitely Ags, just because it allows you to push high ground Prophet harass here. Tons of trees. Miracle does have the power of Chakra Magic though, so that means he gets to cast 2 Quill Sprays instantly, which is pretty nice for him. Lots of mana there, but yeah. Really, Prophet can do whatever he wants in terms of zoning these supports, so he's having a great time here.
Yeah, I mean, Bristleback's dealing with the harass fairly well. What do you expect out of bo3? What will you consider a 1 lane for our Prophet?
I mean, just the lane pushing like this is great, especially if bo3 can interrupt any pulls that are coming from Liquid side. Looks like he is moving some treants over, but Miracle's doing a great job keeping the treants low. Just casting Quill Spray on them just a couple times, even though it does push the lane, it also helps guarantee that if the treants actually end up fighting against the Liquid force, they're already down to like 100 HP, which is completely manageable. So Miracle's doing a great job here.
Towards the mid lane, our Death Prophet, she's feeling a little too comfortable just standing still. There's going to be a coconut bouncing around. Now, do they have the raises? Long range raise isn't going to be good enough. Chen, he goes in, denies his Hellbear buddy. Unfortunately, that's going to be not a whole lot for either team. Just a little bit of wasted time, and Chen leaving the jungle. That's going to cost him a little bit here. He really wants to get as much early farm as possible.
Wasn't terrible for them, I would say. It was a pretty difficult gank. They would have needed the cask to bounce to a creep and then back to the Death Prophet again, but almost worked. And he's going to grab a Wildkin now, which should guarantee his level 3. He's been doing a good job stacking medium camps. I don't think Chen's too worried about this. It obviously will cost Witch Doctor a level minimum. That part's bad, considering that Liquid on the other side surely got their pull finish, so kind of negative, but as a whole I think they're okay.
Back towards the mid lane, no more support rotations coming in just yet. What do you expect to see here? Death Prophet versus Shadow Fiend, like in a vacuum, what goes down?
Shadow Fiend's always going to want to stay max range from Death Prophet. That's really important, just because if DP gets into melee range, she's always going to get a trade advantage with Spirit Siphon. But if she's more at a variable range, then Shadow Fiend should be able to get enough raises in to get an advantage there. So I think the lane's just going to be really boring, really, with the exception of ganks coming, because both heroes should just be spamming out their lanes and not really putting themselves in danger. It just depends on when the supports come in, when the kills are going to happen. Unless somebody really messes up, then maybe somebody will die.
Yeah, we've got our Lion. He's smoked up. He's thinking about wrapping around. He's only level 2, but he does have his 2 disables. He's got the Earth Spike and the Hex. We'll see if they're going to jump in. Crypt Swarm clips, but it's not high enough level to have a huge impact. There's the Earth Spike coming in. TP from the Witch Doctor and a Nature's Prophet. Oh, they're going to regret this. The Coconut's bouncing. Matuma Man, he's getting low. He's going to be the first blood. And now that's going to be the life drain. Death Prophet keeping herself nice and healthy, but Kaipi got what they wanted, and they're just content to sit back and farm up. Nature's Prophet rotating, there is a bit of space for Miracle down bottom, but he's still just dealing with the wave, letting his Quill Spray do what may up top. We've got a push coming in. Chen once again leaving the jungle to put his creeps onto this tower. He's got himself 800 golds, and now he's moving forward potentially into a kill there. Put out some spells onto the Coddle, but he's not too phased.
It's a great pair of creeps to push too. The 3 armor aura from the Wild Wing and the Hellbear Clapper gives 15 attack speed. So putting that on top of the Venge aura with 2 points in it already, they actually do massive damage compared to typical heroes at this level. Strong. The tower's low. It's going to be a little hard to kill though. They're really excited about Penitence. It's a pretty good skill, a 15% damage amp, 10% movement speed slow. Very good one skill for ganking, especially when you're lacking. Well, actually, if you think about it, like you're already maxing out damage by minus armor and damage amps from the Venge aura and minus armor from Shadow Fiend. If you put Penitence on top of that, you're just further accelerating acceleration. It's a pretty good value point if you're ganking anybody. I actually kind of like the pickup this game.
Alright, so Chen crawling back to the jungle. In terms of his pickups, he's feeling a little bit poor. You know, comparable trends at this point in the game. I feel like they've got a little bit more gold saved up, but of course he has rotated, has spent some time in the mid, has pushed his tower. What are his ideal timings?
Yeah, a fast level 6 can definitely be something that happens, but the fact that he rotated top and got a tower, and then is also ganked mid that one time, and he's also still been stacking. Like, yes, he's a little behind, but the fact that this is his second 3 stack game camp, as long as he doesn't get golems here. Okay, he got golems. with the Satyr, that's not a good thing to see. He'll be able to grab the Dark Troll at least. He can actually kill that wave just with skeletons probably. But opening the tower on the top lane is pretty important. It is also going to delay 3-3 from getting 6. That was maybe the worst thing about that. Kuro gets free levels here. The support's pulling a little bit late, and that's going to limit their overall levels. Maybe they did this too fast, but it can also translate to gold advantage. That could lead to some early skirmish stuff, but the levels especially are what Kaipi is missing out on right now.
So yeah, they're going to catch up to that. Yeah, just looking at the overall XP, it's not enormous just yet, but some hard farming will definitely do them good. Back in our bottom lane, Bone7 not really able to keep up a ton of harass onto these supports. You got Lion feeling a little bit too safe. You got Keeper the Light just bopping around the map. And Miracle, he's getting some really good farm. Our last hit leader in terms of net worth, he's going to be just behind the Shadow Fiend. Mid lane, we've got a smoke gank coming in. Our Witch Doctor, he's thinking about it. And now Death Prophet, she's going in. She's able to get off a little bit of life, but that's not going to be anywhere near enough. Chen gets the credit for that one. His little creeps putting in the work, and now trees and creeps and heroes all charging towards the mid, and his tower is not long for this world.
And this is why they took the early tower. It's not so much about the levels, it's really about them doing things together. Like, the Witch Doctor didn't even have to throw a stun in that gank. He actually just right-clicked the whole time because they had so many good disables. Dark Troll and Snare and a Penitence, and everybody just right-clicked pretty much. So tower goes down. 3-3 was in this lane, picks up 3 points of Vengeful Aura. So just maximum damage amplification. Liquid's going to try to offset this. Maybe they'll get Bone7. This is kill potential, maybe.
Yeah, nice little wrap around here. Nature's Prophet doesn't usually feel this much pressure this early on. He could try to TP out in 2 more seconds, and looks like that's probably going to be the call. Witch Doctor comes in with the Voodoo Restoration, and there is going to be a wraparound up the river. You got 3-3 coming in, charging. She's angry. She's got the stun and the swap. Is there enough damage to go on to Bristleback, though? Dealing with his 2 points into Bristleback is not an easy task. And now, there's the Chen creeps, there's the swap, and a nice little sprout to seal the deal. Come with me. Gets the credit for that one, so very well played overall.
Yeah, it was nicely done by Venge. Perfect attack moving. Maybe could have swapped earlier rather than stunned, but the fact that he picked up that kill is huge. That should guarantee at least a ton of tower damage here, furthering their aggression. On the bright side for Liquid, though, they're not slouches at pushing either. Death Prophet's in the middle of doing as much damage mid as possible. If they can take towers at maybe a half rate or an equal rate as the enemy team, that's going to offset a lot of that gold advantage. But really, games like these usually come down to the early to mid-game team fights, where all of this gold advantage that Kaipi picks up, they just never lose a fight for the rest of the game. They should win. But if Liquid can take a good fight and take a win, the comeback mechanic's going to swing back in their advantage. And all of that gold advantage that Kaipi has is gone. And then they'll be behind in experience and gold.
What does an ideal fight for Liquid look like?
5 dead heroes, 0 deaths,
Thanks,
something
Purge.
like that.
Really
maybe
great.
like ideally Roar combo on the Venge would be the best because he's the one that has the most clear save. Obviously Chen can also send back, but those cores are going to be huge, absolutely. Maybe put Miracle in the front, take the brunt of the damage, and then have Death Prophet come on the side, stay alive, do a lot of nuking. There's a lot of really good things about Liquid's fight that could go their way, really. plenty of disable options. I mean, the biggest issue for them right now actually is that Matama Man's only level 4. He's been very focused on his... Still hasn't gotten too many levels out of it. I feel like he could maybe have a couple more levels. That death mid really cost him quickly. Backed out. He probably shouldn't have died from it, to be honest. That's really costly. If he was 6, Finger of Death on somebody, get a kill. That's 600 damage. But he can't do that because he's not even close to 6 yet.
Yeah, he's under-leveled, under-farmed. He spent a lot of time just babysitting the Bristleback, which, you know, it's worth it, making sure the Bristleback doesn't get wrapped around upon and killed too much. He got some good farm in lane, but like you mentioned, now it's time for Recovery Lion, just rotating with his team. It was a nice little trade there. They got the tier 1 top in exchange for Kaipi snagging up a Roshan, but that Aegis is going to be super value now that the tier 2 is potentially getting pushed in soon. With the tier 1 down, with the tier 2 under siege in the bottom, I mean, Liquid have lost pretty much complete control over their jungle, so it's rough. You got heroes like a Chen and an Aegis Prophet that get so much value out of open jungle space.
Yeah, and it's pretty typical for Dire to take that advantage anyways. Ooh, they're so close to getting a swap here.
Oh, here we go. There's going to be the swap. They've got the combo there, and Vengeful Spirit just bashing him up. Shadow Fiend gets the credit for that with a raise, and now Bristleback stunned up. Of course, 3 levels in Bristleback and a Vanguard make it difficult to chunk him down, but he's not offering much of a fight. He's going to go ahead and get Wave of Terror. They don't have any stun swap combos. So that's just going to be Bristle trying to zone, spraying out Quills. Now he's going to get bopped by the Coconut there. Death Ward coming in, and Nature's Prophet thinking about the TP. Gonna cancel.
He's still stacking Quills, but his team isn't going to be able to get here in time. He's just buying as much time as he can, and it's working. 3-3 almost dying to tower.
He's trying now. Come with me. Getting a little bit low. Doesn't have that hand of God. Doesn't have the mech. Not looking so good for the Chen. One more Quill Spray would totally spell his demise. There we go. Bristleback actually finding a kill as the rest of Liquid are able to rotate. And now Milan going to be going down as well. One more hit from the Death Prophet. Meanwhile, up here in the jungle, we are going to have the Beastmaster. He's roaring out. Vengeful Spirit going to take the brunt of that one. He's hasted up, but the Sprout. Can they catch up to Mind Control? It looks like he's home free. That was a very nice show in there from Liquid.
I wouldn't even say that his team was finally able to rotate. They finally gave half of shit to rotate. Like, Miracle delayed that for so long, and finally they show up at the perfect time, able to get 2 kills. That's going to be a huge swing. I actually love this purchase from Miracle. Normally I will shit talk for days a Crimson Guard rush on Bristleback, but I think this is the perfect game for it. With all of these damage ampers, if he can just give his teammates like 50 damage block, or limiting engagement, it does everything against minus armor and all the plus damage that Kaipi has. It kind of counters the whole draft, really. It'll limit his carry potential at least, because normally he'll have an S and Y somewhere in that area, but bonus armor to himself, bonus damage block to his team. Like, he was hard enough to kill in that last fight, and it's going to continue being like that.
Yeah, how many, like, was that like a minute and a half of him just sitting there, stacking up Quill Sprays, eating some damage now? This tower getting low, the Sprout is going to come out from Nature's Prophet. Bristleback's the focus, but it's an ambitious target. And you've got a Death Prophet on the back line still with a couple charges to Spirit Sight and to boot. And now Miracle, oh, he's getting low, the Chen helping him out. Oh god, no, the Chen tried to kill him off, used that penitence, but it just didn't do it. Now on the back lines, Matamba Man is going to be going in, gets the Hex off on the Witch Doctor, trying to buy himself some time. Now meanwhile, in the bottom, they're just raising up, trying to find Kuroki. He blinding lights himself to freedom. He's TPing. Do they have the damage? There's the raise, and they will go through and just start to clean up. So both supports and the Bristleback dead on Liquid. And Kaipi, they're still moving in. They've got a couple more seconds on that Aegis. So Shadow Fiend's going to get full health, full mana regardless.
I kind of liked what Miracle did, but he just stepped back one too many times there, and at that point it was too late. And the other downside is he actually had his Crimson Guard money. It's just it was sitting on the courier. If he had it in that fight, it would have changed everything. An extra 5 armor minimum. He would have had he could have activated the damage block for 55 damage. Done huge amounts. He's even going for stats, by the way, over item or skill points in Nasal Goo. I wish he'd get at least 1, but I can't say I disagree too much.
Here we go towards that mid lane, our little Chen. He's facing a battle of his own. He's got little mud golems that are going to get eaten up by the Beastmaster's creep. So we got creep on creep violence, and in the end, Chen's the one that ends up going down. So Kaipi, they're getting the memo that they really shouldn't be pushing this aggressively this early on. They've got to either all group up together and fight around that Aegis, or just kind of stop with the rat, because Liquid are showing serious signs of life.
Yeah, they definitely are, and that's one of the dangerous things, is that they do have tons of damage. If somebody gets out of position, it will be a gold swing. But they're actually not that far behind anymore. The last mix of kills with Miracle fighting under the tier 2 tower that kind of changed everything.
Beastmaster, he's thinking about going in. The Earth Spike misses, and that's just going to be the get out call, as now Kaipi know exactly what's going down. There's pings onto mind control. He's got his Hawk giving him vision, but he could still be in trouble. Nature's Prophet is not too far away, and Primal Roar is on cooldown. I mean, there's not a whole lot that this Beastmaster can do if he's caught out.
Yeah, this is a pretty big mistake from Atomaman. Maybe just line in experience there, not hexing in time. It's the faster disable. Gotta go for it rapidly. Kuro is a huge problem in there, a huge thorn in their side actually, really. Just because Coddle is so good at stopping pushes, definitely makes the whole high ground thing a bit of a problem for Kaipi. Now they're kind of moving into this territory where they have to actually play a regular Dota game. And the problem is that all of their skill builds and things like that have all been focused on them grouping and pushing. And it makes it harder for them actually to transition to ganking and stuff like that because of it.
Got scans and pings and whatnot as Liquid are gearing up to try to push in this tier 2. They do have the Shadow being split off from the herd. Now he's going to be hasted up. He's trying to just book it home. He's hexed, but oh god, that's a clean kill on the Lion. And now this Beastmaster is waddling for his life. Wave of Terror not going to connect on him, and he does have that Town Portal scroll if he wants to go and get back to that mid lane safely. So Kaipi just going in, Swift kicking the nuts for the Lion and forcing Liquid back to their side.
Died real fast there. Missed micro from bo3. Experience the Death Prophet 2 nukes. That's a pretty big mistake. That's like 100 gold. But either way, Liquid's still controlling the map pretty well. There's about equal towers on each team. Depending on how Bristle builds, almost for sure he'll S and Y next, just because of the movement speed advantage it gives you and the extra HP. Be a BKB, but I think S and Y is clearly the option. More standard now.
Yeah, I like that coming out of him. Now we're going to see the rest of Kaipi just starting to move as a full unit. They're going to go defend this tier 2, which is being pushed down by our Death Prophet. Little hand of God helping out our Vengeful Spirit there. She's still taking a ton of damage. 3-3. Got to be careful with that. Has the 4 points in Vengeance Aura, but looks like she's going to be living. Doesn't need that aura after all. There's a chase down the mid as Chen's going to be going onto mind control. Kind of get that slow. Just, come on, man. Test of
2
fate.
seconds.
Oh, there's the Pentness. There we go. He's going to be having his feet tracked up. There's the Coconut. They've got the Death Ward if necessary. Now, no points in Maledict for the Witch Doctor. Not going to be relying on him for that magical damage. Mind control. He's just chewing on these trees. I don't think he gets out of here alive. He's now dealing with Come With Me one-on-one. No Primal Roar. There's not much he can do. He's just stuck between a rock and a hard place and does end up going down. Occupies a lot of Kaipi's time, though.
Yeah, if he had time to cut down like 85 more trees, he might have made it. He would have eventually crossed the river as well, but did buy some time on the bright side. Problem. I miscounted on Miracle's skill build before he actually didn't get stats. Just wasn't just bad at math, like we said, NA math.
Dude, yeah, we're North Americans. We can't help it.
Very close to his Sanj though. Be pretty decent for chasing down heroes like SF. SF is decent against Bristle though, I must say. All the minus armor that they have is a little scary for sure. If they can catch Bristle when he's looking the wrong way with the stun, it can change everything. At least until Coddle gets eggs and has that heal backing him up. It's a draft very similar to what I've seen Alliance play in the past. I think for maybe Manila qualifiers, they did something very similar to this. Bristle very strong for keeping Bristle alive and just constantly let him spam extra quills.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a good job eating up the damage, spraying out crazy amounts of quills, and like you mentioned, Keeper of the Light on his way to his Aghanim Scepter, still sitting on his value starting tangos, but he's getting close. He's more than halfway there, so within the next 10 or so minutes, we could be seeing Coddle having a huge impact on the game.
And he even is now, like he's basically preventing his opponents from taking easy towers. If he just constantly sits on trees like this, and doesn't necessarily show where he is, he can just Coddle Blast waves, get a couple creeps, like 1 or 2 of those, and most importantly, just guarantee the wave is pushed.
Kaipi, they scat out this Death Prophet just being kind of a brat to the Chen. Now all of Kaipi grouping up, ready to jungle, ready to deal with the push that Liquid could put in there. And okay, we got a Roman in, bo3. He's Invis showing off his new Shadow Blade. Death Prophet goes for the TP. Do they have anything to cancel it? Well, nope, she's out of there.
Wolf, no. Oh, it lived, okay. That's an interesting Shadow Blade pickup. Is good for spotting ganks, and his damage is good with Blightstone phase Shadow Blade. He a quarter step and then changed his mind halfway through, so probably was thinking Orchid maybe, but then realized that Orchid is not good against Bristle. Big ulti.
The Shadow Fiend ulti. Bristleback doesn't really care too much about that. He has Crimson Guard and He's just clicking W to his heart's content, walking up the river. Maybe this could be a bit of an issue. Sprout to keep him back. The rest of his team are grouped up behind him. And we'll see.
They don't have mana leak though. I don't know how they're gonna catch. Oh, Prophet's not paying attention either. He wasn't expecting. Well,
Okay, so Prophet just booking it away, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the engage. Again, Venge TP'd out. Prophet thought about TPing out and just kind of chilling in lane. There's going to be some catch potentially onto the Witch Doctor, but they've got to go pretty deep to get that.
yep, no engagement there, so Kaipi will turn into split pushing instead because they've been a little outmaneuvered here. Should give Liquid the ability to take the tower though, especially when they commit DPL.
Yeah, I mean, is there a possibility to try to smack on tier 3s with this ulti? Because there's Kaipi pushing in tier 2, and doesn't look like there's a whole lot of signs of rotating back. Mind Control comes in. Again, he's got Necros, he's got Primal Roar. Just trying to force back Kaipi. Tier 2 up top is going to fall. Tier 2 mid is defended.
I feel like how Crow's playing this basically, like even though they did commit the DP ulti top, he just runs aggressively against his opponents. He didn't actually have mana leak, but you can play like this sometimes depending on the enemy lineups. And Kaipi's draft is a little burst weak and definitely disable weak, so if he can pull in a Death Prophet as they initiate on him, it could be a really good surprise that could get kills. So I think he's playing his Coddle very accurately, in the way that Coddle really has good strengths.
Mm-hmm. Now the rest of his team, it seems like they're all pretty much doing their jobs. The Beastmaster, haven't really felt a huge impact on him. It's not like he's split push Lords just yet, but of course we're not even 20 minutes in right now. It feels deceptively late in the game for how much action's gone on. Speaking of action, Kaipi stepping into the pit for the second time, looking to get another Aegis up. Do you give this one to your Shadow Fiend still?
See what IMC has. He doesn't have BKB, so it's definitely something that he could pick up, especially against Master Coddle Lion.
Well, he's nowhere near the pit. He wants to fight. He's going in. He's got a Silver Edge looking for that break, but Shen creeps alone are enough to drive back the Radiant forces.
They also killed the Necro.
God, Witch Doctor, he's going back in. He's dropping the base. Bristleback goes in, not able to go ahead and snatch up that Aegis. And, well, Dire, they're getting pretty much what they want right now. Vengeful Spirit respawning. The Witch Doctor is going to be going down again. 3-3 trying to TP out. They've got no more stuns. And they can't be getting that one down. Now here's Shadow Fiend. He's raising. Can he get Miracle down, though? Long range raise is off the mark. And now he's going to get drained out. Miracle's still alive. Just to be the Primal Roar coming back in. Miracle just eating up damage. Quill spraying. And they're going to get the kill on the Shadow Fiend as well. Oh, Kaipi, no.
That was a huge fight for SF, but he had to hit that last raise on Bristle. It could have changed everything. He might have still died to the DP, and Crow's gonna get caught as well. He's right before a piece of his Ags, so he actually lost a lot of gold in that catch too. Just a bad circle of events for both teams, really. Coddle's gonna be unhappy with that, but at least they bursted the Aegis. Venge didn't actually die in that though. So that was too bad for both teams.
Yeah, it was just very quirky. It seemed like Kaipi 100% had that Roshan. They were just feeling super comfortable. In fact, rotating their Shadow Fiend out of the pit. He was nowhere nearby, and that's when Liquid just went in and ripped off the Band-Aid, tried to get it done. Bristleback can only eat so much damage, but what a huge impact Miracle's having this game. He's got 1,000 more gold on top of his S and Y, Crimson Guard. What do you want to see him grab up next?
Pretty close to either you can go Basher, and AC would be very good also, but almost always what you grab third item is a Heart, just because Bristle's a strength hero. He's already got pretty good attack speed just from the treads S and Y, and just by grabbing Heart, your HP goes up by 1,000, which guarantees minimum an extra 4 Bristle Quills as you die with your back turn to somebody, and you also get 45 extra right click damage. It's an amazing Bristle item, arguably the best Heart in the entire game for the interaction with Bristleback and Heart on this hero. So definitely Heart, probably AC or Basher afterwards.
Yeah, he's doing really well. This Bristleback is top of the net worth chart, beating out that Shadow Fiend by a decent margin. So as long as he keeps scaling, as long as he keeps participating in these team fights, he's golden. How does Bristle scale into the, pretty late game, the 30 to 50 minute mark?
He's actually not bad. He's one of the better carries. He actually does pick up plate mail first. There's a possibility he goes AC here. I would also be really cool with a plate mail into a Heart. I think that might be better. Although a Shiva's Guard or something like that could also just completely shut down everything Kaipi wants to do, just because of the attack speed reduction it provide. It also gave him more control over the team fight. Like, Heart is safer, but the issue with Heart is that enemies can just ignore you pretty much. And Bristle does scale well as a carry compared to most super tanky heroes, but if he goes something like Shiva's, shuts down the damage type, makes him super survivable, has stupid amounts of mana, and most importantly,
Death
just
Prophet.
limits their damage.
You are just not where you're supposed to be. Gonna try to TP home. Do they have enough damage? Oh, yup. Yup, they do. That's gonna be a Silver Edge just smacked onto him. That looked like it hurt really bad.
Yeah, and the -6 armor from Presence of the Dark Lord. They had everything they needed to kill her.
Why was she over there? I mean, she was pushing into the tier 2s and has literally no vision of the entire bottom half of the map.
I didn't see the lead up, but I'm gonna have to agree with you there. It's a bit weird place to die. Especially with her current survivability. I kind of like her 4-staff pickup because it covers her against Sprout, but she still has a huge minus armor problem. She's trying to solve that with Ghost Scepter because she's also lacking HP. That typical like mid-game Death Prophet conundrum. You've got to stop magic immunity problems. You've got to stop mobility issues. You've got to stop physical damage issues. It's tough.
Oh, wrap around here. Mind Control could be in some trouble. Again, he's got an Invis hero chasing after him. That's a Vengeful Spirit that wants to whack on you. There is going to be a stun available. You go in, you get that stun, and there's going to be damage bouncing around from Witch Doctor. So they are able to get 2 kills very easily on the back of that Invis Room gank from 3-3, and that's going to be Liquid forced back on their side of the map for now. So Kaipi still feeling even. Overall net worth chart is right at 0.
I really like the Orchid now on Nature's Prophet. It's being very effective. It's obviously not great against Bristle, but all of the other heroes on the team, it's super useful, with the exception of Death Prophet, who can use it off. I feel like we're not feeling any impact from Matumba Man as a hero this game. His laning stage was alright, but since then we haven't seen any setups. Most of his movements have been theory, but haven't really executed super well. I think that's really one of the things holding Liquid back here. I'm still very confident in their heroes this game because I feel like they will scale extremely well into the late game. But Kaipi is definitely playing better right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really solid. This is Kaipi's new roster. What are you thinking, man? We've got now 3 games to watch how they're doing.
Pretty good, I think. I see a lot of success with them. It's maybe not as flashy as having Bambo on the team, but 3-3 is still playing amazing. bo3's having some great performances as well. I mean, he did originally play offlane, so maybe he's got it out of his system. Maybe he's decided I truly am a solid offlane hero, maybe not so much other roles.
All right, we got
like him.
A mini celebration here at level 11. Witch Doctor finally grabbed that point in Maledict. How's that going to change things up?
Good, actually. 1 point can be amazing against Bristle, Death Prophet, tanky heroes, that kind of a thing. It's good. Stop Blink Daggers with it too if you want. Might not do much though. But I do think that justifies this skill.
Yeah, how's Witch Doctor been doing as a whole? Like, how are you expecting Milan to perform? And is he, aside from that one nice little death ward straight onto a bristleback, it seems like he's been doing alright for himself.
Yeah, he has definitely. His skill build is also very reflectant of what we're trying to solve this game, which is AoE damage. They have to worry about bottles, Illuminate hitting potentially 5 heroes. They have to worry about repeated blasts from Bristle Quills. By grabbing an AoE heal, that offsets a lot of that advantage and a lot of the strength of Team Liquid's lineup. So I think his items and skill builds have adjusted, and he has a good KDA too. He's doing a great job.
Deep rotation in. They're looking for Death Prophet. Oh, that's a 2-shot. Double damage Silver Edge Shadow Fiend with Presence of the Dark Lord. That, I felt physical pain for the Death Prophet there.
Dude, that was actually incredible.
Blinding Light coming in from the Coddle. Of course, he's got the Ags pickup, so we can just keep bopping that one down. But, I mean, this double damage Shadow Fiend, look at him rip through this, and there's going to be a swap stun combo coming in. Bristleback, you're tanky, but I don't think you can deal with that. The break from the Shadow Fiend helping out there. That Silver Edge really giving some value to Kaipi right now.
Yeah, that was actually incredible.
Is that DP? All right.
I don't think that's...
No, I think they're just summoning the Death Prophet here, and they might get the Vengeful Spirit as a consolation prize. Hand to God, not enough to save him. Death Prophet coming back in. She has been summoned in the all chat, and she's looking to show it off there. She's going to go ahead, get netted up by the Creeps Chen, just trying to keep control over this fight, and is able to do so. These zoning ancients doing a great job. And, well, Kaipi, they're still feeling healthy. Aside from their lost Avenge, they're all right. bo3 eats that Illuminate, but he can just go ahead and heal up. You got that Voodoo Restoration from Milan, just keeping everyone all beefy, and the siege is going to keep going on without Bristleback and Lion. Yeah,
and I think they can maybe continue this. I mean, Exorcism's down for a really long time here, and they're all healed up. He definitely goes for this. Blast is going to at least nuke the creep waves, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to take a building.
They might be able to come back in. There's no Primal Roar available, but Beastmaster sends his creeps to do their bidding. bo3 just dealing with this, so it's a slow siege. It's not completely over just yet, but it's looking real good for Kaipi.
Yeah, I guess it's worth going back. Venge is just respawning and shoot after run across the map. Liquid's already in their base clearly, so Bristle would be there. So not able to get a tower, I guess. But they definitely are doing a great job exerting pressure. The Death Prophet Ghost Scepter has not paid off at all. That's 2 times now where she could have lengthened how long it took for her to die, and she wasn't able to react in time just because of the Shadow Blade. The Ghost Scepter is cool in theory, but really has missed the mark. A plate mail could have done far better here for her survivability, but again, there's so much minus armor it makes it hard for her to build items.
Roshan going to be coming up in just a couple of minutes. Almost assuredly a Kaipi Roche, unless Liquid just really get their act together. They fully group up, they go in for the smoke, and they sneak in under Kaipi's nose. But even then, if it goes to a full Roche fight, you really got to give an edge to Kaipi, unless there's an exorcism flying around. Especially
depending on if there's death wards runs and stuff like that. It's pretty scary, especially with this BKB on Shadow Fiend. Actually, these guys are already very tanky. The Silver Edge Dragonlance, that's like 30 to his important stats, the strength and agi. Plus he's magic immune now, plus all of his agility based items are enhanced by Venge passive as well. It's just everything's going super well for Kaipi in terms of 5-man unit. Liquid still has great tools, but Kaipi has the tools to counter the tools Liquid has.
We haven't seen the ultra split push Liquid though. We're seeing Beastmaster just kind of walk around. He's got his Necro 3s, he's got his Blink, he's doing what he needs to do, and you know, Primal Roars haven't really been starting off these fights, but I think Beastmaster's got some kick left in him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pushing into the tier 2s, perhaps the tier 3s on Kaipi's side if there's going to be a skirmish going on now. It's like everyone's smoked up on the side of Kaipi, checking out the pit, not finding anything there. Are they going to find Matumba, man? He's TPing out. Smoke gonna pop. Milan knows something's up, but they probably just walk around, find an empty jungle, and go back to pushing.
Pretty safe for him to TP there, and in fact he had to because he already used Blink to move position. Possible mistake by him, but he doesn't get to punish it. Roche isn't up, so all he does is break the smoke. Really nice break. Mind control in a good spot too. It does feel like he hasn't accomplished very much this game, but it's so difficult for him too because Kaipi is such a 5-man roster. Normally, Beastmaster hits 6, rotates somewhere, and gets a kill, but he didn't really have that opportunity this game because Kaipi got aggressive so early. Everything else has been split push and farming, pretty much.
Mind control is sitting here, maybe thinking about going and cutting the way, but there are just so many Kaipi heroes here, and virtually anyone could probably 1v1 the Beastmaster at this point.
Well, it depends. If he gets a jump on somebody, he can kill someone.
Shen stole the Beastmaster Hawk, so he's now got, like, mobile ward for days.
I mean, really, you think Chen would always dominate Hawk?
He's trying.
Pulls creep sets all the way. So much minus armor, especially with the Solar Crest from Witch Doctor.
I mean, this Roche is just going down like butter. It's going to be 3rd Roche of the game. You got Aegis, you got Cheese, and Shadow Fiend once again going to grab up that immortality. There's a push attempt on this top lane, but Death Prophet, even with their ulti, can barely get up to tower. And that's going to be, 2 minutes, no Death Prophet ulti, and not a whole lot of payout unless they get a full set of racks right here, which is looking unlikely. Coconut bouncing around. No Maledict popped out. And oh, Finger of Death dropped. This Witch Doctor getting low will be killed off from the Crypt Swarm. So Liquid gets something for their trouble. Certainly not a lane of racks like they were hoping. Now 3-3 walking away. We'll get Blinding Lighted back. There's going to be a wraparound, though, from our invisible Shadow Fiend. Is Silver Edge going to run out? Can he find anyone to break over here in the jungle? We are going to get that swap. No more TP. Oh, he gets the TP.
That was very bizarre.
Was not able to get off the stun after the swap.
I have never seen that ever. That must be like the tiniest little timing window ever.
Yeah, usually swap stun is one and the same, but swap does not cancel TP. All right.
It does, but it's just, yeah, it does. It's just that was like literally, it must have been like.
Oh, he was like in the TP animation back to the base. Okay, so swap actually down.
Yeah, it was like it was like the game decided the TP is completed. No matter what happens, I'm going to this destination. It might have been like the whole the Fountain Hook change. Could be something like that, and that like okay, Cuddle did go there, but his TP also finished, so he should go home. Like that's literally a death that would have happened if Fudge Hook, Fountain Hook didn't get changed. So kind of interesting how mechanics and bug fixes and stuff like that change other games that aren't even related.
Yeah. Okay. So somehow between the animation of swap, it took the cooldown though, because usually if stuff happens like that, it doesn't take the cooldown.
Yeah,
All right.
Like I said, it's like Fountain Hook probably is my guess.
All right. Meanwhile, we got Chen creeps just getting sent back, and okay, smoke coming in towards the mid lane. Kaipi moving in. They might be able to find some kills here. There is going to be the Coddle coming in. This time they get off the swap. Beastmaster, you're not getting away this time. Okay, one more slap. Vengeful Spirit gets credit for that. Milan. Oh, he's channeling up the ulti, and that's going to be an easy kill right there. Keeper of the Light, dropping the gem on the deck, and okay, it's looking Kaipi. They're back in control of the game. There were some flukes. Gem sitting there is there we go. Witch Doctor grabs it up. Tier 2 going down. Tier 3 about to. There is some push in the top lane. Death Prophet sitting back with her ulti, but there's only so much she can do. She needs a creep wave. Trying to go in, going through backdoor protection. It's slow going.
And Coddle was the hero they needed to slow this down, so the fact that he's just now getting up makes this even harder. Miracle's gonna try to stop this fight a little bit. Oh, he's turned the wrong way!
Oh, his face was forward, and he's just gonna go and have to retreat for now. Rax starting to melt. Death Prophet gives up her attention back to her own face, and now this lane of Rax just going in. You got your Shadow Fiend teasing out the ultimate, but for now it's just Liquid sitting back on the defensive here. The ulti popped out from the Death Prophet, but they're not able to find any catch whatsoever. So Kaipi just waiting this one out. They can take their time with this.
They definitely can. They want to get a good engagement, but it's much more likely that Kaipi gets the swap first, either with swap or even Shadow Fiend coming forward and hitting somebody. All of the minus armor really adding up. He's going for a heart next, but his itemization was pretty solid here. Maybe the Crimson Guard should have been skipped after all, but he's just having trouble living.
You still got the Aegis and the Shadow Fiend as well, so even if you get down the hero doing the most damage, he comes right back with full health, full mana. This might just be too much for Liquid to deal with here. The overall net worth dipping 10,000 now in favor of Kaipi, and oh, there we go, another swap coming back in. There is going to be the Crimson Guard to try to dispel some of the damage, but Vengeful Spirit still getting what she wants, controlling up the Bristleback. There's going to be the ulti popped out from the Shadow Fiend. Not super impactful, but still keeping Liquid on their toes.
Yeah, this time to chase big time.
Oh, there we go. Nice little ulti there. Witch Doctor getting cleaned up by the finger. Now 3-3 in some trouble. Fresh out of mana. Just trying to go through. Has the cheese. It's going to be hexed up. Not cheese. And there we go. And now they're looking. They get the break onto the Bristleback. And now they're going to be trying to focus down this Death Prophet. But she's draining a bunch of life away from 3-3. Shadow Fiend with the right clicks might not be able to do this. Miracle, though, going to be stuck in the tree. Spraying out quills left and right. They do end up losing the Venge. Now the Bristleback, he's still alive. He's still moving forward. There's going to be a nice ulti channeled up by Milan. But is it going to be doing enough? Mind Control walking out of range. Somehow Bristleback is still up there. It's going to be the TP in from the Prophet. And it looks like the Bristle finally goes down. Oh, this Beastmaster next on the menu. But that looked almost awesome for Liquid.
It was so good. The Coddle heal got there just in time to keep the Bristle alive right when they committed to the kill, but it just wasn't enough damage. Shadow Fiend was picking up way too many heroes by himself. The minus armor and the strength of the cores are there for Bristle and Death Prophet, but everybody else on the Radiant team still dies to like 5 auto attacks from any hero on Kaipi. Death Prophet has ultimate at least. She's got Octarine Core as well. That can delay things.
Oh, there's going to be the swap stun combo in. Bristleback is broken. He's just going to be running away from the fight. The ulti's from the Death Prophet raining through. They get a nice drain onto the Vengeful Spirit. She's now running away. Everyone losing their life right now. This Witch Doctor, he's still squishy. He's got himself a Solar Crest. He wants to go help out his teammates now. Ghosty's still flying around, but now, oh god, looks like he's on the defensive there. Chen just dishing out the damage, and now Shadow Fiend moves in to collect his prize. He's going to be BKB'd up, looking for something. Somehow, Death Prophet is still alive. Unfortunately, they are going to lose the Lion. Nature's Prophet showing that worth. I mean, this Prophet hasn't even really been split pushing. He's just sticking with his team, raking in the kills.
Yeah, Bo3's been actually owning this whole game. Like, 0 deaths, constantly there when his team needs him. The Bloodthorn was a solid pickup, really is helping his team maximize damage. Like, Mind Control might be able to get a kill. This could be huge. Crow's coming too. That's a kill. That's huge.
Oh man, that's going to be a lot of money. That's over 1,000 gold going straight to the Beastmaster. How did he make the most use out of that?
Force Staff, definitely. Force Staff is what they need to win this game, I think, because the lockdown from Kaipi is quite low, and they're also limited by break timers too. Every time that Mind Control gets, or Miracle gets broken with Silver Edge, that's when he has to get out. And if they get 2 Force Staffs, every Force Staff should counter the break. So they only have 1 right now. It's been on Death Prophet all game. I wonder how different the game would have been if Lion had 1, for example, but he's been having a really rough game. So I think Force Staff's the way to go. Plus it'll cover any Linken's purchases for Mind Control. He can still solo kill. Out of Vlad's actually. Vlad's could also be fantastic. Just 4 armor across the board. Maybe better than Force. It's a hard decision. They need to win fights now because they're pretty much 2 racks and they need to start getting some massive gold advantage.
Yeah, they're thinking about it. We're going to have Matumba Man crawling around, but he's going to be most likely the victim. There's a Centaur there to try to bait him in, but I think Smarter goes back to walking around with his team, and now this Lion, hey, he's going to blink away just in time, man.
It's an accident.
He tried, though. Tried real hard.
Really bad for DP here. Just surrounded by 5 heroes.
Yeah, there's no way she's getting home. She's walking around. That's just panic in the sheerest form. Now, we talked about Beastmaster being able to split push. Look at his buddy. He's all up in the tier 3s. Unfortunately, the rest of his team is about to get killed as Bone7 goes, and they do get a nice little sprout onto the Bristleback. No way to cut his way out of that, and now 3-3 going forward. No swap for another 20 seconds. They're not able to go in and lock him back down, but this is a free rack. Death Prophet channeling up her ulti. She's really trying to stop the push, but it might be too late here. You got enough creeps wailing on it that you already lost a full second set of racks, and now there is going to be a stun coming back in from 3-3. The Yules, though, they might be able to find the Venge here. She's going to go ahead and get surrounded. They are able to go Mana Leaker, pop her back. 3-3 in some serious trouble.
She really needs to plate mill, but either way, it was a great chase there. Perfect timing on the Ghost Scepter when the stun came out. Didn't get any more kills, they'll be happy. Kind of okay for Liquid, but there's not scaling enough from this. They're getting 1 kill for these buybacks.
All right, so Beastmaster is able to really go through. Yeah, it's a full set of racks, and it requires the rotation back from Bone7 as well as Come With Me just to clear this out. So, I mean, all throughout that, they were able to get the kill and the Venge. Liquid holding most of their own base. They do end up losing the final racks, but
that's gonna make it worth it then. The Necro 3 is a little dangerous, and especially if the fight got serious on his base, but getting a racks out of that, that's completely good. Liquid can still win this. That 1 racks opens up tons of possibilities, because all they need to do is win 1 fight, get a 2nd racks, and then the game's even in terms of tactical map position. They're still behind farm,
Bone7, look at that, just unloading onto the Beastmaster. That was a 3-shotter.
Yeah, if he had 4-stat there, he doesn't die. He picks up a Perseverance instead. I think he's going, could be Lotus Orb, definitely possible Lotus Orb. Maybe Refresher. Double Roar, double Necro 3 could be great. I really think he needed a Force though. So straightforward for Cuddle to, or for Miracle in trouble too.
Oh man, there we go. He's already channeling up the Teethy. Is there going to be anything to stop it? They're not able to get anyone close enough, so now just going to be Shadow Fiend angrily slapping the Lion in defeat. But Kaipi, again, they're not exactly accelerating, but they're still very much in control of the game.
Definitely agree with that. Chen Lotus Orb as well, so it's a reflection there. They're waiting for Roche. It's up soon. Kaipi should be able to grab this. The Aegis and Cheese is going to make the next fight really tough. I want to say almost impossible, but Liquid has been getting some advantage in these engagements. They're all saving for buyback is the big thing. Miracle actually picking up an very likely going to be a BKB. Said he can remove Break or Orchid when things get really serious. Pretty good pickup.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Liquid, and it's who's really doing a whole chunk of the damage. You got Bristleback soaking a ton of it up, and his Quill Sprays are pretty great, but the single target isn't exactly fantastic.
Good if Bristle's on top of a hero, but half the time that's not what he's able to do based on his survivability levels. He still can be killed. That's really Death Prophet. Spirit Siphon does a percentage of max HP, been doing a ton of damage with her ultimate on top of that. She's just not quite at that very safe survivability range yet. I mean, she could save money for buyback here, but I really feel like she needs a plate mail as well.
See what she's going to be moving towards. Again, we are now 40 minutes into the game, firmly in the late game, and it's just going to be Liquid taking every opportunity they can to keep this top lane pushed out. Again, this set of racks was ratted down by the Beastmaster himself, and so it's getting real. Kaipi, again, their kill advantage, their net worth advantage, their overall XP advantage, but it's all about keeping your Ancient up. So if you start to lose these tier 4s just from chip damage in the top lane, it's not looking great.
Yeah, I just noticed they still have tier 2 out mid as well. I thought it was only the bot one, but the top one, it makes this so hard.
Oh, Shadow Fiend finds a Death Prophet. Let's see how quick she goes down here. Giving him a decent chase. Aura.
She should see that she has a minus damage aura.
Oh, they're going into the Beastmaster. He's gonna go. He gets off the roar, but he still dies. Oh god, the Lotus Orb. And now they're going in for the Death Prophet. She's maledicted up. She pops out her ultimate here. That can be not fantastic. She's got the Octarine for short cooldown, but she's still dead. She's in the grave without buyback for over 100 seconds.
Yeah, that should give Kaipi the game. That's 100 seconds to go to the top racks. They've got Aegis and Cheese. Almost no way to defend without this. And with the tier 2 still up, flip pushing isn't even really possible because you'd have to push all the way to that tower, then take that tower, and then finally allow yourself to do backdoor. The only opportunity they maybe have is tier 4s right now. And that's not even there because top lane's pushing in. It's just such a big death. There was a possibility they could have noticed that. You can look at the auras. You can say, hey, presence of the Dark Lord on me right now. Maybe there's an Invis Shadow Fiend, but they weren't looking at that. There's too many other things to keep track of.
Yeah, at this point in Pure Liquid, you're just super overwhelmed, and now the final push is coming in. Everyone charging up onto the high ground. Nice blinding light, just anticipating something going on. They are able to go through and get this done. 3-3, going to be Lotus Orbed up, so it's starting to hurt. And now there's going to be a Witch Doctor ulti channeled up. Oh god, Lion just gets dropped. It's a godlike streak from the Shadow Fiend. Hand to God to keep everyone nice and healthy. And it looks like Kaipi have this one in the bag as they go through. They're about to get Mega Creeps as soon as this Fortify ends. And Liquid, they just don't have the heroes to defend. Their Lion still dead. Their Death Prophet with no ults still dead. These tier 4s starting to get polished off, and now they get the stun on the Bristleback just to keep him locked down. But this looks like it is firmly game. No matter how hard you try, Liquid just can't come back from this kind of lead. Bone7 eats a cheese. Oh, he's still healthy. Kaipi, they're not giving up anything here. Miracle, even with a heart, just cannot stay alive. Forced back into the base, and there we go. The Ancient falls. GG comes out. Oh gosh, at 45 minutes in, Kaipi take the series 2-1.
It's a pretty amazing series, really. Every game was pretty close. Solid drafts, kind of all over the place. I think Matoma Man still shows a lot of room to grow from a support standpoint. His first game was okay.